All right, so this is a kind of quicker flow of just rolling out and releasing the upper body. We don't dive into all of the things that we get kind of more in depth in the bulk of the course, but this is just kind of a nice quick pass through if you're just looking for like, I want to be taken through the upper body rolling and releasing. So you're going to need a foam roller and you're going to need a ball. I like the whip ball, or the harder of the two, but certainly if you are feeling extra sensitive and things, have the softer ball handy. We're going to start on our roller. We're just going to open up through our upper back a little bit with our chest extension over the roller. So lean against the roller right about mid back. Hands interlace behind your head. Your butt stays on the ground for these first ones. We're just going to do some static extension. So keep your butt on the ground. Let yourself extend back over the roller. Just starting to open up through this upper back, through your chest. You can take those elbows in and out. Breathing. And then exhale, rounding your spine back up. Good. Lift your butt. Roll the roller a little bit higher. So you go to a different vertebra. Let yourself extend. Again, elbows in and out if that feels good. Rounding back up. One more time, maybe lift and go up higher in your back. You'll get to a point where it kind of feels like a little bit pointless. You're high enough. And then you can lift your butt and you can just roll up and down through this upper back. You can side bend a little bit, get under one shoulder blade or the other. Breathing. Again, just a quick, we're just going to kind of do an accelerated version, pass through if you're just looking to kind of release things in this upper body. Go ahead, come all the way off of it, lay on it like a pillow. And you're just going to take that head side to side like you're saying no. It's just a quick check-in with those suboccipitals, back of your neck. Breathing. So just a quick pass through with our roller really quick, and then we're going to get in deeper with the ball. So go ahead, take the roller, set it aside, and you're going to grab your ball. We're going to start on our back and just do a quick little pass through of our neck and then down into our upper back and upper rotator cuff. So I'm going to start on this left side. I'm going to place the ball kind of just off to the side on the left. So I'm not on the spinous process. I'm just off to the side. I relax my head down into the ball. I'm going to do some turns. So I'm going to turn my head to the left and then center. Again, just kind of quickly releasing a little bit, getting some blood flow. And you can move up or down. I just sort of started right in the middle, top to bottom of my neck, right? But you can let yourself be guided a little bit. If it feels like you want to move the ball a little bit higher, go a little higher. If you want to go a little lower, I'll just do a quick pass through of our neck. And again, this is just meant to be kind of a quick flow to release things in this upper body. The guided releases in all of the parts of the class are a deeper release. So if you want to go deeper and go slower and you want to be guided through that, then go to those videos. But also know that you could simply just pause this and stay with something if you feel like you are really on to something. Good. So here we go. We're going to just keep working our way down just like we do in the class version of this, right? You just move down into your upper trap area. So just get it right underneath your shoulder where your neck meets your shoulder. And breathe here for a couple breaths. Good. And then we're going to start with all of our little motions. You can push into your feet. You could do this really gently, or you could push all the way up into a bridge. You can take your arm up overhead. You could combine those two, so you could take the arm up overhead and push into your feet. Just breathing. And you can move your arm in any direction, really. Remember your rules for rolling. You should always be able to breathe into it, relax into it, melt. If you're bracing against it, if it's making you hold your breath, it's too much. You need to back off, move to a different spot, use a softer ball, go to the wall. And then the second rule is it should always be lessening in intensity, right? So if it's really intense, but you can kind of hang out there and breathe, it should start to soften and lessen. If it's ramping up in intensity, move somewhere else. Back off of it. So let's keep moving down. We're going to just take the ball and move a little bit lower. So we're in between our spine and the spine of our scapula in our rhomboids. Again, here, all your things, right? You can push through your feet, pull through your feet. You could take those knees side to side. You can move your arm in any direction. Up overhead, around, off to the side. Just breathing. And just kind of keep moving along. So we'll just do, a few good breaths in each spot. But like I said, if you feel like you want to hang out longer, just hit pause. Or go back to the deeper release within the full Finding Your Baseline course. Again, moving that arm around. Breathing. Remember, this is where your ribs attach. Your ribs come around and attach into that thoracic spine here. So as you take a nice deep breath, feel that. Feel the tension increase and let go here. So keep working your way down. We're working down towards the base of that shoulder blade. Breathing. Again, if this is too much on the ground, you can always do this against the wall. You're just following the same pattern, leaning against the wall. And you can really control the pressure a lot more there. You obviously wouldn't be doing the lower body movements, but you could certainly be doing all of the upper body motions. So then as you get down towards the base of your shoulder blade, we're going to kind of swing out to the side. So I'm on the left side, so I'm going to swing out to the left, further with the ball, kind of a little bit more in my ribs, around the base of my shoulder blade, or in this latissimus. And then we work our way back up into the back of your shoulder, so into our rotator cuff. Breathing. Good. And I'm just moving up. You're going to just be all around the back part of this rotator cuff. There's no real rules about where you are. We're just kind of searching around through all of this rotator cuff, posterior shoulder. Again, maybe you're moving around, maybe you stay still, maybe you're rolling a bit, maybe you just hang out in one spot and breathe. There's lots of trigger points in here. So just kind of go gently. If it ever feels unstable, like to kind of be moving your shoulder around, you can always hold on like to your arm with your other hand. You can support it as you move it around, or like hold on to your wrist. I don't ever want it to feel unstable in the front of your shoulder. You could always put like a block underneath your arm and lift it up a little bit. You can get all the way out to the back of that shoulder. So on your deltoid, your posterior deltoid, even the back of that arm a little bit. We're not going to get all the way into the full release of our arms and hands. There's different videos for that if you feel like that's what you need, but we're just going to get into this upper arm as it kind of comes up and attaches into the shoulder. So I like to be on the back of my arm and do a little bit of a figure 8 with my hand, getting my tricep, my deltoid, that outer shoulder cap. And so here, if you really felt drawn, you could certainly go all the way down to your elbow here. You could work into that upper arm. Like I said, hit pause. We're just doing kind of a quicker release. I wanted to have a kind of a way to flow through this, but in a faster way. If you're in a little bit of a hurry, this could just be like a good check-in, a good quick release. You can get into your posterior rotator cuff if you feel like you want to try that up on your side. So you go up on your side, you take the ball, and it goes kind of in the back half of that armpit. You sink down into it here, kind of take that body front to back. And you can just kind of move up or down, right? You can be a little bit more low, be on your serratus and your lat. You could come up a little higher, be a little bit more the back of that rotator cuff, tricep where it attaches. So just explore a little bit. Breathing. I don't ever want you to have any pinching here. Like if you have pinching in your shoulder with any overhead or above 90 degrees, don't be here if this is pinchy. I suppose you could take your arm out to the side here if that's better, or maybe you just don't do this position for now. Good. Let's just take maybe another minute or so on this side, and then we'll switch. Wherever you need to be, if you want to go back to that upper trap area or your neck, just spend your time where you need it. I always like people to check in with all the places, but again, spend your time where you need it. Last couple of breaths. Good. And then we're going to switch sides back onto your back. We're going to go into that right side. So back onto your back. The ball comes into that neck just off center. So I'm not on my spinous process. I'm just off to the right side this time. Letting it sink in. Again, we're just going to start with some little turns of our head, maybe off to the right. Just getting some blood flow, releasing things a little bit. Breathing. Again, you can move. I just sort of started in the center, but you can move up or down from there. Center, top to bottom, right? Breathing. You should always be able to breathe into it and relax into it. If it's making you hold your breath or brace or tense up, then move somewhere else or ease off the tension. And it should always lessen in intensity as you're hanging out there. Good. So working your way eventually down into that upper trapezius area. So you tuck the ball underneath that upper trap where your neck meets your shoulder. You take a couple breaths here, and then you start with your motions. You push into your feet, take that arm up overhead. So you can push a little bit, you can push a lot by bridging all the way up. Move your arm wherever. Always, always breathing. Good. And then we're gonna do the same pattern, right? We work our way down, so in between your spine and the spine of your shoulder blade. Relaxing into it. And as I come down this middle section, I like to sometimes take my legs side to side. Breathing. Moving my arm, using my breath. And know that it's like peeling an onion, right? You're not gonna get it all released all at once. I like to just make a little bit of a change in the tissue. So maybe you just notice that it starts out really intense in one spot, and then you take a couple breaths and it starts to soften. You've hydrated the tissue a little bit. You've changed what's happening there. And then you move along. Again, keep moving down. Working our way towards the base of that shoulder blade. We're working through our rhomboids, our middle trapezius, our lower traps. Breathing. As you get down towards the base of your shoulder blade, you're going to work out to the side, out to the right. And you're going to circle up and around. So you kind of go out to the side a little bit, maybe a little bit more on your, out on your lats in that serratus. And then you swing back up into the back of that shoulder blade, rotator cuff, all around. Again, if this is too much, use a softer ball, go to the wall. There's lots of options. Working all around, maybe the back of that arm. So just checking in. This is one of the spots that gets really tight, I find, when we have restriction, in your shoulder, right? So if you reach up overhead and you just feel tight, if you do child's pose stretch and it's like, ugh, it just feels restricted in my shoulder, this is a spot to always check in with. Certainly if you have any impingement stuff happening, any pinching in that shoulder. Again, back of your arm. You can do your little figure eights. Like I said, on the other side, you could work down into your elbow if you like, but just hit pause on this and do that. We're going to kind of stick with this shoulder and upper arm. If you want to go into your side lying, get in the back of that rotator cuff. So go up on your side and you get that ball kind of into the back half of that armpit. You could lean your body kind of front to back. So I kind of just move and shift, sinking into it, breathing. So we'll take another couple minutes on this side. Again, wherever you need to be. If you feel like this is where you need to be, if you want to be back in that arm, upper arm, back near your upper traps or in your neck, use your time how you want to. Good. Again, I don't want any pinching in this position if your arm's up overhead. Breathing. Let's just take 4 or 5 more good deep breaths wherever you need to be. And then we're going to end with a chest opener on the roller. So the thing we didn't do in this kind of quick flow, although we're doing a good chest release when we get on the roller, but the other thing that's really great, and we do the deeper release in the Finding Your Baseline course, but is the pec release with the ball. If you're going to do that, I like to use the softer ball, the squishier one. It's just a little bit deeper layer to all this, so we're not necessarily going to do it in this one, but in our quicker check-in, but know that that's there for you and is really important. But this release on the roller is a good starting point. So grab your roller. We're going to lay lengthwise. So you're going to sit with your tailbone at the end of the roller, and you're going to lay all the way down until your head is supported on it as well. So make sure that your head and your tailbone are both supported, your feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. You're going to take those arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Let's just get a little bit of motion in these shoulder blades for a second. So reach both arms up towards the ceiling, let your shoulder blades slide apart. And then let them sink back down, hug the roller. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, keep the back of your neck nice and long. One more time, inhaling. And exhale. And then one arm at a time up overhead. Take that left arm up, stretching that shoulder, and back up towards the ceiling. And then the right arm goes up and up. Alternating. Breathing, stretching. Don't go into anything pinchy. Here we go, both arms up overhead. Breathing, stretching out those shoulders. We just released. Up overhead again. One more time. And then we're going to go into our door frame arms, right? So here we go. You take those arms up overhead, let them come heavy to the floor. Palms face the ceiling. Slowly drag those arms open. So you're dragging them down by your side. They're coming into bent elbow. like goalpost arms. If you can let your hands be heavy to the floor, fantastic. Some of you might be way up here, that's okay. You slowly make your way down. You're really just opening up through this chest. And then you just go again. Hang out where you need to. Breathing. Such a good chest opener. We spend a lot of our day in this rounded forward place, so this is really great to open things up. Good, last breath. Beautiful. So that's kind of a nice flow through this upper body. Just a quick release, like I said. If you want to dive in deeper to any of those things, check in with some of the videos that are deeper releases as part of the full Finding Your Baseline course. Good job. Drink some extra water.